Welcome to Bills Nation Daily, your ultimate daily dose of everything Buffalo Bills. Hit that subscribe button and join the most passionate Bills fans as we break down all the latest news, highlights, and game analysis. Go Bills! In the high-stakes world of the Buffalo Bills training camp, where every roster spot is fiercely contested and the margin between making the team or not can be razor-thin, a quiet but determined figure has emerged and started turning heads in a way few expected. Christian Wilkerson, a wide receiver who entered the offseason without much fanfare, has gradually carved out a compelling case for himself, transforming from a relatively unknown free agent signing into a genuine contender for a place on the final roster. At 28 years old, Wilkerson isn't the typical young rookie bursting onto the scene with flashy highlights or national media attention. Instead, his journey to this moment is one marked by perseverance, hard work, and seizing opportunity when it knocked. Joining the Bills midway through spring OTAs, Wilkerson stepped into a group already packed with talent and competition. The wide receiver room includes the likes of Elijah Moore, a former second-round pick from the New York Jets with a clear trajectory, as well as Tyrell Shavers, a player who has spent multiple seasons on the Bills practice squad waiting for a break. Alongside them are new additions like Laviska Shenault, a dynamic athlete with big play potential, and Caden Prather, a rookie drafted in the later rounds with plenty to prove. Given this landscape, Wilkerson was initially seen as a long shot, a depth piece who might provide some competition in practice, but was unlikely to leapfrog the players ahead of him on the depth chart. However, football is a game where circumstances can change in an instant, and injuries have a way of reshaping expectations in brutal fashion. Throughout training camp, the Bills' receiving core has been hit by the injury bug, leading to an increased number of reps for Wilkerson that would have been unimaginable just weeks before. This influx of playing time gave him the platform to showcase his skills, his knowledge of the offense, and his ability to perform under pressure. The result has been nothing short of impressive. Offensive coordinator Joe Brady has openly praised Wilkerson's progress, noting how the player has made the most of his opportunities. "It's been a great chance for a lot of guys, and Wilk's done a great job," Brady remarked after one of the recent practices. When a player who started the offseason as a near afterthought starts consistently making contested catches near the goal line and contributing on explosive plays, coaches naturally start to take notice. Wilkerson's background helps explain this grit. After going undrafted in 2020, he signed with the Tennessee Titans but saw limited action, accumulating just a handful of appearances in the NFL, including 5 games with the Las Vegas Raiders over the last couple of seasons. Few expected him to make a splash this late in the offseason, but the Bills' training camp has become the stage where he refuses to be overlooked. Meanwhile, the ongoing recoveries of established receivers Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel have shuffled the pecking order further. Both players, vital parts of the Bills' passing attack, have been sidelined or limited due to injuries, creating additional voids for other wide receivers to fill. This shift has naturally pushed Wilkerson and others further up the depth chart, amplifying their chances to impress the coaching staff during live drills and scrimmages. What makes Wilkerson's rise even more remarkable is the stiff competition he faces from teammates with a longer tenure or higher profiles. Tyrell Shavers, for instance, has spent 2 years entrenched in the Bills system and is familiar with the nuances of the offense. Newcomers like Laviska Shenault and promising rookies like Caden Prather also fight for the same roster spots, making the competition a true test of ability, adaptation, and mental toughness. Adding to the challenge, Shenault and Prather have been hampered by their own injury setbacks, which ironically have allowed Wilkerson to gain more opportunities to run with the first team. General Manager Brandon Beane has been candid about his impression of Wilkerson. During a recent media session, he described Wilkerson's camp as a heck of a performance and emphasized that he doesn't see any reason the receiver doesn't belong. These kinds of endorsements from front office leaders reflect how Wilkerson's presence is shifting perceptions within the organization. When a player not originally drafted or spotlighted manages to create a buzz through sheer effort and execution, it speaks volumes about both his character and potential value to the team. The highlight reels emerging from practice sessions at Highmark Stadium have given Bills fans moments to savor. Wilkerson has drawn ohs and ahas with his ability to haul in tough catches in traffic, showing a knack for creating separation and timing his routes effectively. A memorable reception on a pass from quarterback Josh Allen during a scrimmage not only highlighted Wilkerson's athleticism, but also gave a glimpse of what he could offer if given a chance on Sundays. Brandon Codrington, a defensive back tasked with covering Wilkerson during one drill, could attest to the challenge he presented. Defending near the goal line, where space is limited and every inch counts, Wilkerson managed to secure a contested catch, demonstrating reliable hands and concentration. This is exactly the kind of play that could sway coaching decisions when roster cuts approach, and every slot must be justified with consistent production or unique contribution. Joe Brady's comments about Wilkerson's knowledge of the offense and movement skills underline how the receiver has adapted quickly, absorbing the playbook and executing assignments with precision. For a player who did not have the luxury of extensive NFL game reps, this rapid assimilation is a crucial factor in earning trust from coaches and teammates alike. Football is as much a mental game as a physical one, and players who can quickly internalize schemes and adjust on the fly often find a way to carve out a spot in the league. As the Bills prepare for their preseason opener, these internal battles become all the more critical. Coaches need to assess who can step up and fill the gaps created by injuries and roster changes. Wilkerson's case is a reminder that opportunity in professional sports often comes to those who are ready to grab it, no matter how quietly they arrived. His steady progression has made him a legitimate candidate for the sixth wide receiver spot on the team, with his special teams potential adding another layer to his value. Turning to the wider context of the Bills' injury landscape, there is cautious optimism regarding Khalil Shakir. The 25-year-old receiver suffered a high ankle sprain during practice, but is expected to return in time for the regular season opener against the Baltimore Ravens. Shakir's absence has been felt keenly, especially considering his career-best numbers last year with over 70 receptions, 100 targets, more than 800 yards, and 4 touchdowns in just 15 games. His skill set and chemistry with Josh Allen make him an irreplaceable weapon in the Bills' arsenal, and getting him back healthy would provide a significant boost to the offense. The Bills' upcoming preseason game against the New York Giants will serve as a first real test for many of these players trying to prove themselves. For Wilkerson and others on the roster bubble, it represents a chance to translate their hard work and practice into tangible game action, making a case for why they deserve to be part of the team when the season officially kicks off. While injuries always complicate a team's preparation, the Bills have so far managed to avoid major disaster, with the coaching staff and medical team working diligently to get key contributors back in shape. The next few weeks will be crucial in shaping the final roster and determining which players can step into larger roles. For fans and analysts alike, the unfolding drama of training camp and preseason provides a compelling narrative of resilience, opportunity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence that defines the NFL. As the Buffalo Bills navigate the final stretch of their preseason preparations, the atmosphere around the team is a mix of cautious optimism and intense competition. Every snap in practice and every rep in the scrimmage carries weight, not just for the established stars, but for the lesser-known players fighting tooth and nail to secure their place on the roster. Among those players, Christian Wilkerson stands as a compelling example of how persistence and readiness can shift the course of a player's trajectory. But he is just one part of a complex puzzle the Bills must solve to field a competitive and balanced team. Behind the scenes, the coaching staff is meticulously evaluating how to balance offensive firepower with depth, all while managing the inevitable injuries that come with a physically demanding sport like football. The loss or limitation of key contributors, such as Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel, means that the Bills cannot afford any weak links in their receiving core. This reality heightens the importance of players like Wilkerson, whose ability to step into roles that demand both reliability and versatility could prove invaluable. He may not have the star power or the pedigree of some of his teammates, but his quiet work ethic and steady improvement offer a blueprint for success in the harsh environment of NFL roster cuts. Meanwhile, the wide receiver room continues to be a hotbed of potential and uncertainty. Elijah Moore, a young talent with flashes of brilliance, appears relatively secure as the fifth receiver, yet the margin between him and players like Wilkerson is narrowing. Laviska Shenault, with his combination of speed and physicality, remains an intriguing option, though his progress has been hampered by injury. Caden Prather, fresh off the draft, is still adapting to the pace and complexity of professional football, while also dealing with his own health setbacks. In this crowded field, every practice, every catch, and every block counts, as coaches look not only for talent, but for players who demonstrate the mental toughness and football IQ required at the highest level. Shifting focus to the defense, the situation at safety is a critical storyline in the Bills camp. The injuries to Taylor Rapp and Cole Bishop have created a void in the secondary that cannot be ignored. Both players were expected to be foundational pieces of the defense, with Bishop entering his second year and poised to take a significant step forward in his development. Instead, missing crucial reps and facing recovery timelines has put their readiness in question. For a defense that prides itself on aggressive coverage and timely communication, this disruption poses a unique challenge. The coaching staff has had to adapt quickly, experimenting with different personnel groupings and schemes to compensate for the absences. Backup players and younger talents are being pushed into roles that test their preparedness and adaptability. These moments are as much about survival as they are about development, as the Bills must remain competitive in preseason matchups without compromising the long-term health of their starters. Sean McDermott's management of the situation reflects a pragmatic approach. His decision to limit Josh Allen's snaps in the preseason games underscores the priority placed on protecting key players from injury, while giving opportunities to backups and emerging talents. Allen's health is paramount. After all, he is the centerpiece of the offense and one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league. The coaching staff's focus is to preserve his energy and minimize risk, ensuring he is fully ready when the regular season begins. For Bills fans, the return of Khalil Shakir is a highly anticipated development. His ankle injury initially cast a shadow over the team's offensive prospects, but the latest updates suggest a timeline that aligns with the season opener. Shakir's presence not only strengthens the receiving core, but also provides Allen with a reliable target capable of making critical plays in tight situations. The chemistry between them was evident last season, and getting that back will be a significant boost as the Bills face a tough schedule that includes the Baltimore Ravens in the opener. As the preseason progresses, every practice and every game becomes a proving ground. The pressure on fringe players is immense. They must perform flawlessly, as mistakes can be costly and opportunities limited. Yet, for some, this pressure fuels their performance. Christian Wilkerson exemplifies this mindset. Rather than being overwhelmed by the competition, he has embraced it, showing resilience and a willingness to learn and adapt. His story is a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the NFL, where determination can sometimes outweigh pedigree. In addition to the physical challenges, the mental and emotional toll of training camp cannot be overstated. Players often face grueling schedules, intense scrutiny, and the uncertainty of their professional futures. Navigating this environment requires more than just talent. It demands discipline, focus, and a strong support system. Wilkerson's journey illustrates how a player can harness these elements to not just survive, but thrive amid adversity. Looking beyond individual performances, the broader strategy for the Bills involves creating a balanced roster that can sustain success over a demanding season. This means blending veteran experience with youthful energy, ensuring depth at every position, and fostering a culture of accountability and resilience. The front office and coaching staff have been deliberate in their approach, aiming to build a team capable of contending deep into the playoffs. The road ahead is demanding, but the determination and resilience displayed by the players and staff offer reason for optimism. With each practice and each game, the Bills inch closer to the goal that drives every team in the NFL: standing atop the league as champions. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. In a development that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, the Buffalo Bills are reportedly finalizing a deal to acquire Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens, igniting a whirlwind of speculation across social media, sports networks, and fan forums. While neither franchise has officially released comprehensive statements detailing every aspect of the trade, insiders suggest that preliminary agreements have been reached, and league sources hint that Jackson could be wearing a Bills uniform as soon as the upcoming season. The rumor mill has been particularly active this week, fueled by cryptic tweets from former players, agents, and sports analysts who have long been tracking Jackson's career trajectory. Speculation is growing that the trade involves multiple draft picks and perhaps a key player from Buffalo's offensive roster, though concrete details remain elusive. Fans have already begun debating the potential impact on both teams' dynamics, questioning whether Jackson's unique playing style and mobility will integrate seamlessly with the Bills' offensive schemes under coach Sean McDermott. Some pundits even argue that this move, if true, could drastically alter the balance of power in the AFC, positioning Buffalo as a top contender while leaving Baltimore in a precarious position at quarterback. As the NFL trade deadline approaches, anticipation is mounting, and insiders continue to provide fragmented updates, keeping speculation at a fever pitch and ensuring that this story dominates the sports conversation. Sources close to the negotiations suggest that the Bills have been actively courting Jackson for months, exploring the feasibility of acquiring him through a complex arrangement that satisfies both franchises' strategic goals. Analysts are speculating on the precise structure of the deal, with some asserting that multiple draft selections, including potentially first and second-round picks, could be involved, while others hint at the inclusion of a veteran player to sweeten the exchange. The timing of the announcement has fueled further rumors, with observers noting that the sudden surge in Jackson-related news could be a tactical move to influence team morale, ticket sales, and even endorsement opportunities. Industry insiders suggest that Jackson's reported interest in the trade may have been a decisive factor, with his desire to play in a system that maximizes his rushing ability and passing versatility aligning with Buffalo's evolving offensive philosophy. Meanwhile, sports commentators have speculated on the ripple effects this move could have on free agency, with the Bills potentially becoming a magnet for additional high-profile talent. Fans, eager for confirmation, have flooded social media with hypothetical scenarios, discussing everything from playbook adjustments to quarterback chemistry with star wide receivers. The sheer volume of speculation underscores the uncertainty surrounding the situation, with insiders cautioning that, while the trade appears imminent, unforeseen obstacles could still arise, leaving both franchises in a state of tense anticipation. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens are reportedly preparing contingency plans, anticipating that Jackson's departure could trigger a reshuffling of their quarterback depth chart and offensive strategy. Speculators have suggested that the Ravens may be targeting emerging talent from the draft or exploring free agent options to fill the potential void, though these plans remain shrouded in secrecy. Observers note that the timing of the trade could coincide with broader organizational shifts, including coaching adjustments or strategic changes aimed at maintaining competitiveness in the AFC North. Rumors also indicate that Baltimore's front office is carefully weighing the financial implications of moving Jackson, balancing the immediate gain from draft capital against the long-term need for a franchise quarterback. Some analysts have speculated that the trade could serve as a signal to other players and teams that the Ravens are open to bold moves, potentially reshaping the perception of the organization in the league. Meanwhile, fan reactions have been mixed, with some expressing disappointment at the potential loss of a beloved player, while others speculate optimistically about the draft assets and future opportunities the team could gain. Sports networks are already framing narratives around this possibility, and insiders have hinted at confidential discussions that may only emerge fully once official confirmation is issued. As the rumor persists, it has become a central talking point in the NFL offseason, generating intense debate about strategy, legacy, and the evolving nature of team building. In Buffalo, local media outlets and fans alike have fueled a frenzy of anticipation regarding the potential integration of Jackson into the Bills roster. Analysts speculate that Jackson's presence could revolutionize Buffalo's offensive approach, with his dual-threat capabilities offering a dynamic complement to the team's existing weapons. Rumors suggest that quarterback room dynamics will undergo significant recalibration as team leadership evaluates how best to leverage Jackson's talents alongside established stars. The speculative discourse extends to play-calling strategies, with some observers predicting a more read-option-heavy scheme, while others propose unconventional packages designed to capitalize on Jackson's mobility and improvisational instincts. Conversations within coaching circles reportedly focus on balancing Jackson's strengths with the team's existing system, prompting conjecture about whether the Bills will pivot towards a more aggressive aerial attack or maintain a balanced offense emphasizing both run and pass. Fans have enthusiastically debated hypothetical matchups, imagining how Jackson could influence the Bills' prospects against divisional rivals and playoff contenders, while sports betting forums are already adjusting odds based on unconfirmed chatter. Industry insiders suggest that even without official confirmation, the psychological impact of this rumor on opponents could be significant, creating uncertainty about Buffalo's next season before it even begins. As speculation continues, the narrative surrounding Jackson and the Bills has evolved into one of the most talked-about potential trades in recent NFL memory, with every leak, hint, and insider whisper magnifying anticipation and debate. As the trade rumor circulates, pundits have begun drawing comparisons to other high-profile NFL transactions, noting the potential long-term implications for both franchises' competitive trajectories. Speculative analyses suggest that Jackson's move could redefine Buffalo's identity, positioning the team as a premier destination for elite talent, while simultaneously challenging Baltimore to reimagine its future. Fans and analysts alike have become engrossed in hypothetical scenarios, projecting playoff outcomes, offensive efficiency metrics, and the cascading effects on divisional standings. Social media activity has surged, with hashtags, polls, and fan-generated content reflecting the widespread fascination with the possibility of Jackson's relocation. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.